Yo, nigga, first time ever, nigga. This that I think I'm gonna call this Monday Morning Cornerback, nigga. MMA real talk, boxing real talk in general, nigga. I'm covering all bases, nigga. NFL, NBA, all that motherfucking shit, nigga. Let's get started. When it comes to that MMA shit, the talk is my nigga McGregor. Hey yo, Cass, ever since he knocked the fuck out Aldo, right? Cass is trying to be like, yo, Frankie Edgar's owed that next title shot. He shouldn't be going up to 155 pounds. He shouldn't be going ahead and the company of the UFC shouldn't put his ass on the line to go ahead and stand to like lose them revenue. But here's the thing, right? He's killing himself to make 45. He's already a champ at 45. He goes up to 55, fights really at his natural weight class. Really, that's natural weight class, you know? He killed himself to make 45 and was still going ahead and knocking motherfuckers out. If he has to fight a 5-round fight at 145 pounds, it might not be a good look, especially against a guy like Edgar. Whereas at 55, he's fully hydrated. You know, his power's gonna carry. Guys act like the 55-pound division is monsters, but is RDA Rafael dos Anjos more a monster than Frankie Edgar? You know, they're both beasts in their own right. You know, RDA is more so monsterish because he's finishing guys in first rounds by bludgeoning them, but Edgar went ahead and knocked out Chad Mendes in the first round for several seconds. But McGregor still finished a more dominant guy, a better champion than Aldo in less time. Come on now, man, son. Like this, I don't know about y'all, man. This is mad simple to me, man. Go up to 55, fight RDA in March. Take that strap. Couple months later, you know what I'm saying? Set him up with Edgar. 155 pounds. Both titles on the line. He's defending both titles at the same time. Defeat Edgar. You beat the best of what 45 has to offer. And he already went ahead and beat Max Holloway at 45 before Max Holloway's been going on a run that's even longer than Edgar's, McGregor's, or Mendes's at the time. Or even Cub Swanson. You know? Edgar beat a guy that has a longer winning streak than anybody else in that weight class, including him when he was sidelined with his ACL tear. This shit's mad easy, son. Like this is like this is easier than first grade math, nigga. We're taking candy away from a baby, nigga. You're killing like several birds with that one stone. You know, you have a man that's gonna hold 2 belts, 2 different weight classes, and Cass is like, oh well, Nate Diaz is a bigger money fight. Edgar is the nigga that should be getting the title shot. Well, Aldo may have a better argument, even if he did get knocked the fuck out. 13 seconds. You know, one could say, well, he got caught with a huge shot and that wouldn't happen again in 13 seconds. Ronda Rousey, dominant, not for as long a period of time as Aldo, but in really just as dominant. She gets her immediate rematch against, really, either it be Holly Holm or Miesha Tate, because Holly Holm's gonna, check this, Holly Holm's gonna fight. Holly Holm's gonna fight before 200. You know? She's gonna fight Miesha Tate. Holly Holm is an active champion. You know what I'm saying? That's what motherfuckers don't get, man. Motherfuckers be thinking that, you know, these fighters, man, you know, these athletes just go ahead and sit down and wait for these fights, man. They make money fighting. They don't make money in training camp. UFC ain't gonna pay. No, even if they want Holly Holm to sit, I don't hear Dana White, Lorenzo, Fertitta, no one of the UFC Zuffa conglomerate brass saying that, oh, we're gonna go ahead and pay money to have a motherfucker go ahead and wait. Nigga, that's not gonna happen, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna go ahead and pay money just to go ahead, any motherfucker go ahead and just wait. You know what I'm saying? You know, just because they're already booked, you know, Holly Holm and Ronda Rousey several months in advance. Nah. Ronda's the one that got her ass kicked, not Holly. Holly good. Holly ready to fight now. Miesha Tate been ready. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing, man. Fuck a lot of these rematches. Not all of these rematches. A lot of them. Let me explain. Carlos Condit, you know what I'm saying? My opinion, I mean, highway robbery. But, you know, the MMA judging, I'm with Joe Rogan, man. They need to scrap this 10-point must system. Like we need something else that is more regimented to the modern day MMA sport criteria. It's a different ballgame than boxing. We're not talking about 12 rounds, 2 hands. We're talking about 8 limbs, striking, submission, grappling, octagon control, offense, defense, takedown, stuffing takedowns. That's a whole nother discussion, but I'll cover in another video. But with Condit, and even if Condit and motherfucking Lawler, they go ahead and they draw, you still got to give Tyron Woodley that title shot. Because let me explain. All this complaining Frankie Edgar's going ahead and doing, well, look, Edgar got his rematch against Ben Henderson after he lost the first fight because BJ Penn and Gray Maynard got their rematches against Frankie Edgar. So when Edgar finally went ahead and lost, he was just like, well, niggas got rematches against me. I need to go ahead and get a rematch. So then it's all this, well, you know, who deserves what. Anthony Pettis should have gotten that fight against Edgar after the Maynard-Edgar draw. I promise you, Anthony would have fucking put hands on Frankie Edgar. He would have handled Edgar. Handled him. You know what I'm saying? Pettis went ahead and handled Henderson twice. Henderson went ahead and beat Edgar twice. Even though I gave the second fight to Edgar, he still went ahead and, you know, put it on his kufi in the first fight. Again, Pettis went ahead and beat Henderson twice. Come on now, man. Too easy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like going ahead and let's say this, right? Let's say the Packers go ahead and draw with the Vikings last Sunday. Lambeau Field. Get a draw, right? I did the little algorithm, ESPN playoff simulation. Hawks, you know, hometown Hawks, you know. Don't get this yellow confused, nigga. It's Hawks all day. Not no Steelers, but Hawks would have traveled to Lambeau with the algorithm if they would have tied Vikings to Redskins. What if the NFL went ahead and say, no, fuck that. Fuck that. Let's go ahead and finish playing this football tomorrow. You know, there's going to be no draw. You know, we need to have a winner. Fuck out of here, man. There is draws in certain sports. You know, hockey, soccer, football, the fight game. Mayweather Canelo could have ended up being a draw. You think niggas would have gone ahead and fucking paid for a rematch? You know, the one judge, Howard Letterman's daughter, Julie Letterman, scored that a draw. No, not Julie Letterman. Excuse me. Some other chick. I can't think of her name. Come on now, son. So, anyways. Pettis should have gotten that fight. Tyron Woodley deserves a fight against Robbie Lawler. He's been earned his title shot. Condit, I feel bad for my nig. I mean, you could... I don't want to guarantee him a title shot either, because he should be fighting Damian Maia, who's on a run. You know what I'm saying? But no more of these fucking rematches, dog. Please, man. Let Cain Velasquez Verdum be the last of it, man. Verdum went ahead and dominated this motherfucker the first time around. You're giving Cain the rematch because why? He misses 14, 15 months every single time between fights, man. Come on now, it's his fault for not being more active, man. Have Kane go ahead and come back and face like a Arlovsky or a Stipe Miocic, you know, and you know, have Verdum fight. Could have had Verdum, Miocic, Arlovsky, Kane, because Miocic stomped out Arlovsky in McGregor time. I was like, damn, it's over like that? Shit. John Jones, Dan Cormier, that makes sense. They had to go ahead and take the strap away from John because, you know, John wanted to be a knucklehead and nigga play with that white girl. Nigga, I'm not talking about his wife either. You know what I'm saying? So, no more of these rematches. Pac Bradley 3? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Maidana Mayweather... Maidana Mayweather 2. You could have maybe... Yeah, I mean, sure. You could have made the argument. You could have had like an interim... I don't want to say interim, but you could have had like Mayweather fight another cat. Maybe defeated him and then fight Maidana or something. You know what I'm saying? No more of these little immediate motherfucking rematches, man. For what, man? I'm saying the UFC is getting in love with this rematch shit. That's not what made the UFC filthy, man. Rematches aren't what made the UFC filthy. Okay? It was going ahead and having guys like Sugar Rashad Evans. You know what I'm saying? Forrest Griffin. You know, unheralded mofos. The Alexander Gustafsons in the world. What if he would have gone passed up? You know, over Jones rematch and I don't even know. I mean, you could have had Jones rematch Gustafson, but then, you know, maybe Jones never gets to fight Glover Teixeira. You don't have them questions. I mean, Jones should have fought Phil Davis. That, at some point, that should have fucking been made somehow. You know what I'm saying? John Jones didn't have no business. Man, fuck out of here, man, with him going ahead and fighting. I mean, yeah, you know, credit to... I can't even say credit to Chael Sonnen because it took my nigga HB to go ahead and talking some sense to me. Shout out to my nigga HB. Yeah, man. Sonnen training with Dan Henderson. Henderson going ahead and getting injured. Sonnen knowing that shit in advance. UFC knowing that shit in advance. You know, then Dan goes ahead, pulls out the fight a couple days, you know, a couple days in advance. Then goes ahead and has his boy Chael Sonnen, you know, to go ahead and fight. You know, John Jones. John Jones wanted to fight, but his team's smarter than that, dog. This ain't the streets, man. This is the pros. If this is the streets, if this is the motherfucking streets, real shit. If this is the streets, arguably nobody between 155 pounds and like 185, 190 pounds are seeing the Diaz brothers. And that's possibly real ass shit. A bunch of them may be able to see Nate Diaz. Nick Diaz, on the other hand, fuck. Nick Diaz would give Luke Rockhold the fight of his fucking life right now. Nick Diaz versus Luke Rockhold. I might be picking Nick Diaz. And I love Luke Rockhold, but... You know, just if we're gonna go ahead and talk about some shit like that, these aren't even pride rules. UFC rules are designed for, like, you know, fuckboy ass niggas like Nick Lentz and Clay Guida to go ahead and get wins based off of dry humping, like niggas like Johnny Hendricks or some shit. You know, Frankie Edgar goes ahead and wins by going ahead and dancing around niggas for like 5 rounds. It's until recently where he started going ahead and starching niggas out or fully dominating fights for 5 fucking rounds. Before that, man, I mean, we're talking about, you know, Song and Dance, Cinderella, him and Gray Maynard 2 and 3. Well, 2. You know, BJ Penn the first time. Granted, he came back and starched both of them niggas, but man, Penn won the first fight. Maynard won the second fight. Maynard definitely won the second fight. They misscored the first round. It was like a 10-7, 10-6 round. And that's just like when Pacquiao got the draw against Marquez. The same exact fucking thing. Pacquiao won the first fight. He scored 3 knockdowns in the first. They scored it wrong and called it a 10-8. It was a 10-7. You know? No, actually, a knockdown is a 10-8. You knock a nigga down once, it's a 10-8. You knock a nigga down three times, that's a 10-6. Same fucking thing Maynard did to Edgar. That's a 10-6 fucking round. You know? I know certain things you're not really trying to go and score like boxing, but legitimate knockdowns, when you like hit a nigga to the face and like, you know, you really like, you already know, like you socked him up, like you dropped him. That's a fucking, you know, if you're dominating the round. I mean, if it's like a drop and you weren't dominating the fucking round, that's different. That's different. But you know, the scoring system that's even being used right now isn't even currently being used right in MMA. You can score rounds 10-10. You can score rounds 9-9, 8-8. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, you know, Lawler and Condit drop each other twice, both within the same round. That's an 8-8 round. 7-7, 8-8. They both go ahead and no one gets a clear, like the Jones Cormier fight. First round I scored a 10-10. You know I'm saying that hugely changes everything, because then if the rest of the 4 rounds are split and you score the first round a 10-10, that's a draw. We're talking about must scoring system. You know, we're talking about winning rounds, not winning the fight. John Jones could go ahead and dominate rounds 3 and 5. Cormier can win rounds 2 and 4, but not as dominant. But if the first round is a 10-10, it's a fucking draw. People are going to watch this video and be like, man, dog, you're just an advocate for draws. No, I'm an advocate for using the scoring system right, which is why the scoring system needs to be revamped. You know, Rogan's right. You need a half-point decimal system. You know, or you need to go ahead and be able to you need to be able to scope in the dominance of one round in comparison to the lack of or not as much dominance of another round. GSP Hendricks, perfect example. GSP won 3 rounds because Hendricks gave away the 5th round, but Hendricks kicked GSP's motherfucking ass in like rounds 2 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Like 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. That's Hendricks. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people gave round 1 to GSP, but I give round 1 to Hendricks. And then